So I'm going to show you how we can use these charts to create beautiful chord progressions in a really simple way. Basically, all we need to do is play the blue notes in the left hand, the green notes in the right hand, and then use those gray notes to connect everything with melodies. That's pretty much all there is to it. So let's take the example of one of these chord charts, and I'll show you how we can use it. So again, blue notes in the left hand. There they are there. That's the D minor triad in second inversion. And green notes in the right hand. So that's a C major triad, also in second inversion. And when we play those together, we get this beautiful harmony, one of my favorites. This is a minor 11 chord, D minor 11. Beautiful. So again, now we can use those gray notes, the scale notes, to create melodies. So any of these notes, any of these chord notes can move to its neighboring gray notes or scale notes. So let's start with the top note, and we can move it like that. Right, these melodies work really well because they're all coming from the scale. Any of the notes can move, so let's try the C next. Or the G. The F. The D. Or even the A down here. Right, so you can think of each of the voices of this chord, or each of the fingers, as an independent voice that can move around and create melodies. The melody that you create on the top, like with this E, is going to stand out the most because it's the highest note. It's on top of everything else. But the other melodies, the other inner notes, and even the lowest note will stand out as well. So it gives you tons of options here. The white notes, I haven't mentioned those yet. Those are the notes that are outside of the scale. So those are going to be very crunchy, very dramatic notes. They're not bad, you can still use them, but know that they're going to create a lot of tension. So generally we either want to avoid them or just pass through them quickly to arrive back at a scale or a chord note. Now each of these charts also comes as a row. And the row is just inversions of that same chord. And inversions are so important because no matter where we are on the keyboard, we want to have this chord close by so that we can smoothly move to it. And that's why we need all these inversions. So it's the same exact chord, it's the same scale notes, it's the same chord notes, but we're just changing their order. So let's play through this row now from left to right. Here's our first one. This is the one we had before. And this is our final inversion. Let's go back again. Beautiful. You can even go up more octaves, repeating it. Nice. So get really comfortable with each of these inversions, moving left and right, and even jumping between them. So we can go like this. Right, so get super comfortable hitting all these chords, jumping between them, moving left and right, and skipping. Then, just like before, we're going to connect them with melodies using those gray notes. So let's start on our first inversion here. Now watch the top note. Right, so we can connect the inversions super smoothly by adding these melodies. This cohesive material is essential. It's so essential. Beautiful. So this is just a one chord progression. We haven't even added another chord, but that's what we're doing now. So here's our next row. This is a G minor 11. So it's the same type of chord, but we're in a different key now. This is the key of 1 flat. You'll notice that there's a B flat in here. So no more B natural, B flat for this row. Otherwise, everything's exactly the same. Blue in the left, green in the right, scale notes are gray. So this is going to sound like this from left to right. And back left again. Remember, make sure you can skip between them. And connect with scale notes. Great, so now we've got 2 rows and we've just been moving left and right, but what about moving vertically? Let's add another dimension here. So let's just do this one column at a time to start. So first column, we're starting with our D minor 11, this one here, and it's going to sound like this. Beautiful. How about our second column? It's going to sound like this. Same progression, different inversions. And our final column. Great. Okay, so we moved left and right, we moved up and down. What about diagonally? So let's try, how about column 1, the first row, and then we'll move to column 2 in the second row. And we're going to connect it again with scale notes. That's super important. Let's try it. So here's our first chord, and we got to get this melody up to F. See, that is in our next chord there. So there it is. Lots of ways to get there. Now we have a different inversion here. So you're starting to see the potential here, I think, of connecting these different chords together and these different rows. Again, moving left and right, moving up and down, and then moving diagonally. So give that a try with just these 2 chords and these 2 rows. I mean, that's going to be level 1 for our challenge. Once you're feeling good with those, you can move on to level 2, where we're going to add yet another row here. This row works in exactly the same way, but it's a different type of chord now. This is an altered dominant chord, in this case an A7 altered. Okay, so let's just play through the row from left to right and see what this altered dominant sounds like. So here we go. Ooh, that's crunchy. And then back again. Beautiful. Okay, let's try as a column now. So let's resolve this tension by moving downwards. So here's our first column, moving down. Nice. Second column. And third. Beautiful. Now actually, because we have 3 rows, we can jump from the first to the third row. And that gives us another movement option here. Let's try that. So column 1, jumping from the first to the third row, sounds like this. Nice. Let's try the next column. And third column. Works just as well, but has a different kind of resolution. So I won't go into all the details of this. You can experiment with it just like you'd experiment in level 1. But now you can move left and right within these 3 rows. You can move up and down. And now you can also skip from the top to the bottom row. So tons of options in what you can create here. And finally, for level 3, we're going to add yet another row. This is a half diminished chord, E half diminished. Sounds like this. Beautiful chord. Also uses a melodic minor scale. And let's try the columns now. So now we have a really full 4-chord progression. So column 1 is going to sound like this. I'll put some connecting notes in there. you get the idea, I think. I'm not going to play through all the columns. That's up to you. But again, you can experiment with jumping, with moving left and right, connecting things to different melodies, moving up and down. So the options are becoming more and more limitless here the more rows we add. So give this a try. Keep it simple at first, just do one row at a time. Really get each of those inversions down and make sure you can connect them before you start putting them into a progression. And just enjoy it, see what you can come up with. And I look forward to hearing your challenges this month.